What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda and your boy Jay from Ready to Love. What's up, Jay?
What's going on? How you, Rhonda?
I'm good. I'm good. Jay came over here with the fresh cut. You
Uh,
know, we was talking about all y'all. We was talking about all y'all and the
that's
edge ups over here on
that's
Ready
the
to Love.
that's the nature of the beast, right? When you put yourself in the public eye.
Look, my man is a barber and I'm a hairstylist. So
Okay,
I come on here and I'll be talking about the people's hair. So
it's
welcome
just
to my channel. Thank you again for coming over here.
no problem.
Um, Before I get started, what is your sign? That's the key to get into the door over
What's
here.
my sign? I'm a Pisces.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. So now I can see I have two Pisces in my house. My son is a Pisces. Well, children, my son
Uh,
and my youngest daughter.
okay. It's
Oh
okay.
my
So
gosh. And
you
you're an
got two
only
Pisces,
child?
huh?
I said, and you're an only child.
Yes, yes, yes. So with February or March Pisces.
Both February.
Okay,
So they're February, one day apart, 18 years and one day apart.
okay, okay. Yeah, I'm a
So
March.
you're a March.
Yep.
Everybody like has their thing. I'm a January Capricorn, so January Capricorn and December Capricorn are very different.
Right.
But end of the last days, they're at the very last days of February, so there might be some similarities there. But I
Yeah.
feel like okay, I can
My,
see things in a whole different light now that I know, what your
yeah.
sign is.
My
Um,
son's my son's is March 1st. He a Pisces as well.
how old is your son?
13.
Ooh, that's an interesting age.
Right.
That's an interesting age. So you
Right.
were born and raised in Philly?
Yes.
Yeah. What
Yes.
was that like growing up in Philly?
I mean, it was a for me it wasn't like one of them like trenches, you know, super struggling, the regular narrative. No, my mom, she did well. She was in the army. So I did a lot of traveling when I was young.
Okay.
Um I lived in a few states. But Philly, I was born in Temple Hospital. So yeah, it was like any other kid, it was fun. It's different from now with all the technology. We had more time outside.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
we- it was, so it was definitely fun. The inner city of Philadelphia, you kind of tough. It kind of toughen you up. So like when you talk about people talking about, me on TV and stuff like that, it don't bother me much. We joke on each other just normally on a regular day.
How old are you?
35.
Okay. So yeah, they were still outside playing. Y'all were like not as engulfed in the video game, and
Exactly.
being inside like that, like you said, technology. Um, I like that though, because I hear, a lot of stories of struggle. I feel the same way. Like I grew up with a single mom, but she worked for GM. So it
Right.
really wasn't no struggle. Not for me, it wasn't. So
Right. And
it's
just like
good to
even
hear that.
I play sports and I play basketball, and a lot of players that go to the NBA, that's like the narrative. It's
Yeah.
like just you was born just super in poverty. Like that's not every black person's story.
Story.
And it's like it's corny that that's the narrative. Like why wouldn't we want to say we come from money? We come from riches. You rather say you come from poverty like as a token, but that's just a society we in. They say the richest stories, like that's okay, but you can struggle without being poor.
Yeah. Well, different. It's a different struggle. I
Exactly.
think, it doesn't mean you don't go through things. You still go through things and you're still affected a certain type of way. It's funny that you say that because when I saw Jalen Hurts, you're a Philly. Are you an
Right.
Eagles fan?
Right. You already know it. I was going crazy today.
When I saw Jalen Hurts, when he first really came into the scene, my first thought was, I said, he looks like his parents are still married and like he went to college and, that's not his story. And then when I, learned more about him, I was like, I knew it. I don't know why. It's just okay for us to have that as a story too.
Exactly. It's
I feel
okay.
like I wish there was more of that.
Right. So true. And it might be something. It just don't get highlighted,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
Yours was thankfully in this. That was probably one of our favorite things. Did you go to college or did you go straight from high school to, you know,
Um,
your
I
career?
went to community college. I played basketball, so that was kind of my goals in life at that time. Coming out of high school, just like basketball, NBA. The typical basketball player, like put all his eggs in that basket.
Hmm.
That want to make it to the NBA. So after that, I went to community. school really wasn't for me. So it's kind of like had to figure it out. But at the end of the day, I wanted nice things, so I started, working 9 to 5, you know, getting car notes, getting rent, all
Being
that.
an adult.
Yeah, being an adult,
Yeah.
at 19. But when you got your dreams, it's kind of like you don't want to say it's over just yet, so you hold on some. But at the same time, reality hit once you. And then I had a child, 2012. So that's when it was time to pivot and find a new hustle or whatever my purpose is bigger than basketball.
So, what did you study when you were in community college?
Real estate, liberal arts. Yeah,
Okay. I mean, I feel like real estate is something that could carry you even if you don't necessarily choose that as a career. If you're gonna spend money, because college is a business, so if you're
exactly.
gonna
All
spend
day.
money on something, I don't think real estate is necessarily a bad idea.
And that's
Um,
why I felt the same way because college is a business, and not to knock anybody. My mom has big degrees and all that, but as you know, you can go to school for a shorter period of time for certain skills or trades that it get you, way more advanced than working behind somebody with a big degree and you're there for 30 years just to get promoted
yeah, yeah, or a pension that
or a
you can't
pension.
afford
Right,
anything. I'm big on trade schools because I'm a hairstylist, so I went
right,
to a trade school.
exactly. You understand,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and university isn't for everybody.
right,
I think some of the experiences are like, had you gone playing basketball, you know, you said that was your dream,
right.
and then what? Where was the pivot? You said you had a son. You had your son. Your son is the oldest.
Yes, you're the oldest. My daughter's
Okay.
7.
Okay.
So yeah. So we said we were the pivot.
Yeah.
Like as far as about 19, 20, I had my son at 21. So 19, 20, I was in what they call preparatory school because my
Hmm.
grades wasn't as good. So that allowed me to get my grades up and still compete in basketball,
Hmm.
to eventually get me into a D1 college type school. But like I said, as I'm 19, 20 now, I want the intangibles. I want the car. I want things now. I wasn't the type that's like, oh, I'll just deprive myself of everything to get it. Like
Hmm.
like an actress or actor that they go to Hollywood and work as a server and be broke sleeping on the street. Like I know that's a level of determination that you got to have, but I thought I was like I know I'm smarter than that than dribbling the ball. I know I could figure it out another way. That I got to go that far and so much sacrifice that who knows if I got there how much happier I would have been because there's a lot of knowledge that I got by being you know quote unquote a regular citizen, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
then if I would have went straight from high school to the NBA and my mindset then, I probably would have never gained the knowledge that I know now, for longevity in the short term. Of course, I would have probably first 10 years probably felt the best, but in the inside, I might not have been felt so good because, like I said, I knew my mindset in high school is not the same as it was going through
Or
actual
still
life
have your money.
and still have my money
You
and
know,
nobody
I feel
owning me.
like basketball dreams and actors is kind of the same. Like the chances
Exactly.
are not very likely that you're going, you know what I'm saying, make it and
Right.
be successful at it. Um,
Right.
so
And
you
then we
have to
don't.
have a plan B.
That's a fact, and that's a fact. And I just feel like we need more producers and directors. If we do have actors, people should be in line to be more producers, directors, film crew. You know, it just
Well,
we
that's how
only
the
glamour
story gets told
exactly because we glamorize the big role, but not the people that make
behind the
the big
scenes.
role.
Well,
Exactly,
I mean, and if you're the writer and the producer, that's where the money is.
exactly.
I
The
don't
people
mind
that
being behind the scenes.
come on, that's me. I don't mind being behind the scenes. Like so, people surprised that me want to be on the show. Like you out there, you put yourself out there because I love being behind the scenes. But you
Yeah.
know, there's a once again in life is they say we live once, so it's things that you got to put yourself out there and figure it out. And I take whatever come with it, but I had to figure it out.
So, how did you find your way to cybersecurity? Now, that's what they said. I feel like that's what you said because they be kind of flim flammy with these careers on
Or how
on
I
the
found my
show.
way, just me, searching for what I understood what was the advancement, in society. I see what's going on, and technology is a place. I one thing about me is, I like to always try to be 10 steps ahead, just as much as I can, because of course I don't want to have no type of anxiety. I try to live in the present as much as possible, but when I see the way the world is going and everything is like digital this and digital that.
Mhm.
And I just said, sheesh, like I'm not a tech type of guy or anything, but it put me in that space where it's like I will learn. I'm a self-sufficient person, so, and self-determined. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna learn something if I don't know it, if it can help me in the long run, 5 years, 10 years from now. So that was my mindset when I hopped in cybersecurity. I had a friend who was also in IT, so he brought that to my attention, and we went to school together at the same time, and gained our credentials to do that.
Now, was that at the same school at the community college where you went to play basketball, or?
No, no. I didn't play basketball at community college at Philadelphia Community College. No, that was a preparatory school, a prep
Okay.
school. And, yeah.
All right. So, I mean, not everybody is technically savvy.
No, I
Like
don't think.
myself, I would say. Um, what does that look like? You said you got your credentials. So once you get your credentials, then you just out there. Your friend, you
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
kind
you
of
can
led you that
freelance.
direction.
Yeah, you could freelance. You could work for a company, work for government. You get government contracts because cybersecurity is kind of like what you like a trade in itself. Just like a digital trade in a sense.
Hmm.
So it's like you can freelance. You can work for yourself, but obviously we know what that type of hard work takes, and dedication to start your own thing from the bottom, and get people to trust you, because cybersecurity, you basically an ethical hacker. So when you're an ethical hacker, the word ethical is like, people are human. It could get unethical at any moment.
Right,
You
right. Depending on how deep you are. Yeah, yeah.
know. So you gotta, trust the person. So from that sense, business wise, you go that route, or you can, as I said, you can work for someone, hospitals and such things
Mhm.
like that. To protect the information, because that's real crucial. Protect the information.
For sure.
Companies would be, literally held at gunpoint, figuratively, when somebody hacks their information and say, I have the credentials of all your clients.
Right,
Like in
right.
everything, that's like,
Which, I mean, I feel like that happens a lot, but
exactly, it does. And
yeah.
it don't make the news, because if other hackers know that it's that vulnerable, it would, that would be a thing. So
I've had people tell me that before that work in like insurance and different, not as cybersecurity, but in other elements. And they're like,
right,
man, if it got out that we got hacked, then we would
come
be in
on.
a mess.
Right, it's people
Yeah.
go through their air conditioner systems.
Wow.
So so Walmart got a big air conditioner system, but it might be on one server, connected to something, and people who actually installed the air conditioner system may be the ones.
That hack you?
Because everything goes back to a cloud. That's the database who gave it to you. Same like the Ring cameras. Everybody has them and you use them, but where does the information get
Where does
stored?
it go?
The
Yeah.
database, to the
Yeah.
person who created it. Like your phones, the pictures you delete, where does it go? It don't just disappear in thin air.
It disappears until you commit a crime and the forensics person
Exactly.
comes in to tell you what you did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, thank you for kind of clearing that up for me, because I hear these terms in technology and everybody's like, I'm in tech, but
Right.
I don't know necessarily what that means.
Right. Understood. Understood.
So you were 19 when you became a dad. How old were you when you became a single dad?
I was 21. 21. My son 13, so I think I was 21. I was 19 when I met my kid's mom. So
Okay.
21.
And
Yeah.
then y'all were together for, you
Up
said,
until I was 29.
okay.
Yep. 29. Yep. 29 going on 30 around that time.
And then all the responsibility, then you say you have,
Yeah.
custody of your children.
Yeah. I'm a single dad. Yep. Bachelor.
Well, we know you're a bachelor because you were over here on this show. Um, how is the relationship like with your kid's mom?
It's okay. It's no drama, none of that type of stuff. She live in North Carolina, so yeah, we don't cross paths or talk much. She talk to the kids. They old enough to have their own phone, so
Hmm.
she communicates with them herself.
I mean, that's important when you're going into a different relationship, with a new relationship,
Right,
because you're entering somebody into a family dynamic. However it is, no drama is better than
right.
drama always.
Exactly, exactly.
And you said your daughter is 7.
Yep, 7. and they got a book out right now too. Both of them. My son
Do
and my
they?
daughter have a book out. Yeah.
What is
Called
that about?
it's just the adventure between a brother and a sister, a big brother and a little sister. It's called The Bond Between Two. You can actually Amazon and it'll come right up. My mom helped him, so it's like co-author with grandmom on it. So
Oh, nice.
yeah,
I'll have to put that link in the description when we're done,
okay,
so you can
appreciate
get to the Amazon. Now, I just became a grandma, so I know what that's like.
that.
Are they completely spoiled by grandma and grandpa?
Pretty much, you know it. You know it. I thought they get away with everything with me, but no, I go over there and I'm like, oh, y'all really get away with stuff over here.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's how it should be.
Right.
Um, it's a lot going on. I know, you're a single parent, so what that's like. It's different. It's very different than having a child and not having to deal with the day to day, getting to school and making lunches and all of that stuff that goes around, revolves around being a single parent. With everything that's going on, like politically right now, how
Uh-huh.
do you navigate having your kids have a social life, but also protecting them from the drama? Because it can be scary, and they have the internet. They're hearing all the stuff that's going on.
Right. Right. They don't see much of it, but as you said, being the responsible parent, I see what's going on. So, you just do as a parent. When we were younger, there's certain things that we couldn't see, and
Hmm. But we
certain
didn't have
things that
access to things like, you know what I'm
exactly,
saying, having
exactly.
phones and.
Right. So it's a lot of conversations needed to be had, and that's probably like the only, thing that's probably like pet peeve is like, oh, you got to keep explaining to your child if they see something different, where they got all these different stimulations coming from different aspects. When we were younger, I feel like my only thing was peer pressure, and 9 times out of 10, that child, they wasn't too much off their rocker that I could be influenced so bad. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, it's like some kids is just because of the technology, they so far gone. You don't even want them around your kid because like they really
Right, doing too
gone.
much.
It's like, like now
Yeah,
you really got to be
yeah,
careful because some people don't letting their kids be raised by, you know, the the digital, screen. So you have your
I
kid
I
on.
remember like having clients come in with their kids, and they're like 4 or 5 years old. They got a tablet, an iPad, all these things, a phone, and I'm like, he's 5. Why does he need all that?
Right.
And now I see how the little kids they're very technically savvy now. They know how to get into all of that.
And that's
Um,
the world. Hmm.
you had your parents,
Hmm.
around. So for kids that don't have their parents around, I could see where it's way easier for them to get sucked into,
Well,
the
and
internet bliss.
and two, but from third grade to eighth grade, I was in military school. I wasn't with my parents, so
In military school?
yeah, I
From
went
what
from
grade?
third to eighth grade. Yeah.
Okay, so what was that like? That's different. You said your
Um.
mother was in the military.
Yeah. So I went to military school. So I always laugh. I was shipped away, but yeah, I was in military school from third to eighth grade. It's called Scouting School. It's like Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. They shut down now, but
Hmm.
it was different because being 8 years old, you with a whole bunch of other kids. You really don't know why you're here.
Hmm.
You just trying to figure it out, and definitely a good experience. But it does. I think it helped me be the person I am today because I had to adapt early to different personalities. And that was like I said, I'm 8 years old, 7 years old, and I'm dealing with all these different kids from different backgrounds,
Hmm.
different parts of the state, Pittsburgh, PA, Philadelphia, PA, Chambersburg, PA, just all these different areas, and these kids are all coming in one spot. And it's like college before college because we all
Right,
living,
because you're in a dorm, kind of.
it was a dorm. It's
Yeah.
12 of us to a cottage, what they called it. You had one person who's kind of like 2 grades older than us, who would be like the junior assistant, but he's watching over the younger guys. And then you had
Hmm.
the house parent, the one who's the adult who has the job there to watch over it, everyone. So, um, as I said, you learn, and then as a male, being as a young man, you had to learn yourself because with boys it's competition. So,
Hmm.
now you out there with other guys, and either you getting bullied, or you standing for yourself. So, that's definitely something that was a good experience for me. I think it made me a lot independent. Sometimes where it could be like it could go against me as far as like not knowing when to reach out for help, or not
Hmm.
seeing other people as help, because like I feel like I was independent since I was
You had to
young.
figure it out because
I was
third grade, that's young. Third
yeah,
grade. So how often did you go back and forth home?
uh holidays,
Okay,
holidays. So it was like about 2 hours from Philly.
okay.
Uh,
Did it make you want to go to the military?
no, it made me want to do the opposite. No, my mom wanted me to go bad. No, I just feel like my dreams, aspirations, and goals just in this world, I knew it wasn't just going to the army, and I don't have no problem with it, because I just know I seen it as a desperation move for me. I feel like a lot of my father, that was a Marine, a lot of men in my family was in the army. A lot of times it was their last measure of trying to make a life.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, so it was like, man, am I gonna do this for the money? And then I gotta get deployed, and I'm gonna be out here like, bro, send me home, because I don't know why I'm here. Because I am
I feel like depending on when you go, it could be a positive experience, like you said, getting
exactly,
deployed, and then that's a whole other different experience.
exactly. My
So
mom
both
did
of
it
your parents were in the military.
exactly, and that's a good. So I had good experiences to see. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So my
yeah.
mom, she 30 something years. You know, went to school, did everything she did. So I seen, but I just don't feel like it was my path. It could have helped me earlier if I was like 19, 20. Because they help with school when you get all the stipends. You don't have to pay
The
no bills at
benefits,
the
yeah.
time. It help you get ahead so you could go forward, kind of like a jump start.
Um, what did your kids think about you being on the show?
Oh man, my son loved it. Every time my daughter, every time she see me, she get excited. Daddy, that's you on TV, and just look at it, and she just be in awe. And she just like looking at me on TV.
And your son is 13, so he's paying attention to different things.
Yeah, he be in the comments.
Oh my gosh.
He was on
That's
that.
hilarious.
He talking about that's my dad.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yep.
Um, what made you decide to do the show?
It was a new experience. And then once I found out, they wanted me to be serious about committing to this love thing. I'm like, okay, kept it honest with them. Like, okay, love, trying to figure it out now. I did 11 years in a relationship, so been single for 5. So like, all right, let me see if I could be open to the process. And I felt like I did, and I was, you know, I just wanted to give it a try. Basically, the experience. It was
Now you
nothing else.
say do the love thing. Were you feeling like you were ready to love, or you know?
Yeah, I mean, for me, love is action. It's not really. So when I hear the word, it's like a trigger word for a lot of people. When they hear love, it's like, oh, it's like these rainbows, and it's just super beautiful. But it's kind of like, you know a storm, but it's like, it's beautiful, but at the same time it's ugly. You know what I mean? Because at the same time, love is, for me, like I said, is action. It's about the loyalty aspect of it. The companionship that you bring to each other. The trust. It's just so many different things that for me means love, and not the word love. Like, I feel like some people say it. I feel like the most people that do you the worst is the people that say they love you. Um, and that's kind of all of us feel have this consensus, because anybody that you don't love, it kind of don't hurt you as bad. It might hurt you, sting a little bit, but it don't hurt as bad.
There's no
So
feelings involved though.
right,
Yeah,
so
I
I just
think
look.
love is beautiful. It's
It is.
it's a beautiful thing, but
It
once
is.
you let that guard down, you're definitely vulnerable to getting hurt.
And right, and but I feel like the ugly part is the aspect of it when it don't always look beautiful. That's the ugly part, and I'm a loyal person, so I feel like also as well, it's like when I gauge a person and I meet you and we talking and we get to know each other, I know from there, as we get to know each other, how your foundation is. Are you easy to wither away? Like, are you easy movable? Is it something that'll just knock you off your rocker and then you ready to move on to the next? Or are you somebody that I know you'll stick around? That's not hard to tell. And because I'm that loyal person, I go above and beyond for the woman that I deal with, and it's documented. I did things that your parents would think, why are you doing that? You But that's just what you do for people that you care for. So, but at the same time, you got to make sure that's reciprocated, and you got to make sure it's authentic. And anytime I feel like it's not authentic, or I peep any sense of you doing this for whatever reason, that's your agenda, then I'm either I could be there with you and just be doing me as well, and we just be coexisting in this space, or we just kindly separate. But sometimes people get off to manipulating that side of you if they feel as though it values them or they benefit off that. So, but I'm the type that watch you try to manipulate me, and then I just cut it short when you thought that you had that one up over me.
I feel like manipulate gets a negative,
Right.
attached to it. When you say manipulate, people
Right.
automatically think a negative thing. I think everybody manipulates. It just
Right.
depends on what it is. I
Right.
manipulate, you manipulate, everybody does in order to get what they want.
Mm.
I just feel like as long as both people are benefiting, like you said, when somebody's trying to manipulate you. You have a little girl, she doesn't come to you like giving you eyes and daddy, and you know exactly what she's doing, but you give into it anyway because why?
Uh, yeah, and that's true. That's true, but and that's self-serving, right? That's self-serving. If if we're trying to manipulate to get what we want, then that's self-serving, and that's okay. But I'm just
Yeah,
saying, once you come in a relationship, it has to be acts of care, and it can't always be manipulation. Something has to be genuine. Everything don't have to be to get something out of it. It could be just for I just did it because you buy a woman something. I ain't do it because I'm thinking I'm getting sex tonight. I did it because I'm telling you, I just did it today. I don't know. I woke up today and I might look at you and say, damn, I just wanted to get you flowers today. I just feel it like there's no agenda behind it. And
well,
maybe
I
not
mean,
every,
that's love. To me, that's love.
but it has to, in that expression that I'm saying, that's love. It's like, it don't have to be said. It don't have to be told. It don't have to be keep saying over and over to persuade yourself or persuade anybody else. Like, that should just happen naturally when it's authentic chemistry. I feel like when you could shout it out till you blue in the face, but it's like, your words is kind of like, yes, it don't hold no weight.
Very matching.
It ain't mad.
So you say that, and so it makes me think about the conversation of words of not words of affirmation, love languages, and what is everybody's love language.
Right.
Now, you never said it, but somebody, I think it was Kiara that said it, that she feels like your love language is physical touch. Is
Right.
that your love language? Because I don't sound like it based on what you're saying.
No, she definitely, I guess that's one of them, because I do like my woman to be up under me. I
Yeah,
like my woman to be around me. So I think so. Like when you sitting around, you got your hand on my leg and all that. The body, it's the body language.
yeah, yeah.
So if you sitting over there or you just sitting next to me, we like homeboys. Like, no, most women want to be inside they man. You
Right.
know. So it's like I think so, because I did like that. So I agree with it. Like, yeah, maybe it is. I never knew what it was. I never went down that path to figure out what my love language was. But when she
I
said it, I'm
didn't
like,
either, but it's a constant conversation now. Everybody
exactly.
is, and I think that's not a bad thing. I think when
Oh,
you're talking about going into relationships, you should know yours. I
right,
know mine is acts of service,
right.
and so like you say, you need to see some action with love. That's how I show my love. I like to, do things and make it nice, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like all of them are love languages. Is just what's more important to you, you know.
So right. So going back to that manipulation, if your love language is acts of services and someone were giving you them acts of service, would you mind if they were just doing it just to get something out of you? Or you will hope they would do it just that they just do it because they know that's what you like to do and they want to authentically do it to make you happy, not to get something out of it for themselves.
If you're doing my love language and I'm receiving it, if I'm looking outside and seeing the grass getting cut or things, the
Right.
trash taken out and all of those little things, you're probably gonna get something anyway. Like
Right.
it doesn't necessarily have to be sex, but I'm for sure gonna
Right.
respond to it in a way that because I appreciate it.
Exactly. Exactly. Because I feel like I know guys that love bomb till they blue in the face, but it's empty words. So it's like you said, I can look outside and see him doing it. That's the action part. I can see it
Yeah, yeah.
happen. I want as same as a woman. When I look at you, I can see it happen. I don't have to. The words is cool. I know it.
I'm not a words of affirmation person.
Yeah,
My
right.
partner
Exactly.
is though.
That's
So
understandable. It's understandable. You know. That's the
Yeah,
yin and
I
yang.
guess for me personally though, like I ain't gonna telling me I ain't gonna do nothing.
No,
I
not for
need
me either.
I need to
Not for
see
me
it.
either. They ain't
You
gonna
can
tell
say
me.
it all day long, but I
Hmm.
know for him now, if he's out there and doing the yard and getting it all clean, and the things that I appreciate,
Right,
if I don't say great job,
right.
then he's gonna say I did a great job, didn't I? And then now I'm like, you're not gonna make me say it just because you want me to say it.
Because
I'm
you
gonna say
looking
it when
forward.
I'm ready. So
Right,
now we're battling over absolutely nothing. It seems like
right. When naturally it's like I don't look for the approval. I don't look for the good job because of the fact of the matter. I did it just because I know
I
it's
did it because
love. I
yeah,
did it what you loved. I don't care if you didn't see it, but I know you saw it. The realistic of me, I know you saw it.
yeah.
But you just, I
But I
don't know
mean,
if
that's
you.
why it's important though to know the person's love language. Now, if I'm doing something and you don't acknowledge it though, and I feel like
Right.
I'm being taken advantage of or taken for granted, at some point I'm gonna say something.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's effective
Um,
communication.
everybody keeps saying communication is key,
Yeah, that's
but the
true.
keys be somewhere other than where the
And
people be because I don't know what
but
the
I,
communication is.
I believe it's communication and comprehension though, because like you
Absolutely,
said,
absolutely.
because
I don't
communication,
think
like
you
you
have
said,
one without the other.
yeah, you can't.
Um, because some people communicate. I feel like I've said this before, like by busting the windows out your car. Now that's communication. It
Right,
may not be the kind you want,
right,
but you
but
understand I'm angry.
right, you got the message.
You got the message. Um, had you seen the show before you went on there?
No, I haven't. I had to go look at it once I got on there.
You waited until after. Okay, but before you actually showed up to do the show, did
Yeah, I
you go
watched it.
back and look?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I
And
watched
what
it.
did you
Yeah.
think?
I seen, I'm like, okay, it's a cool show. I seen it was like legit. You seen who it was. Like, okay, the thing. Seeing what season it was on. Like, okay, this is a thing. It's serious. This is a serious thing. Um, I just seen it was like a lot of the guys had bald heads, so it was like I was like, oh man, maybe this like a maybe this. I'm like maybe this like I automatically thought like maybe they like two marriages, divorce. This like maybe this might be a little bit a step ahead because
Like more mature?
yeah, because I feel like I'm mature, but I feel like in my
I mean,
opinion.
older though. Like,
Exactly,
yeah, yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly, exactly. So it's like, and I said that on the show. It's like, about one of the girls, Shanice there. I feel like she was super cool, but I know how she carried. I'm real silly, so when I'm around you, and I dealt with older women as well, and I never had an issue. But I just felt
Mhm.
like some women carries they so serious. It's like I'm
It don't
I'm
match.
yeah, I'm silly. I'm gonna make you laugh. We're gonna have fun. And if you just coming off 3 divorces and you probably didn't got time no more for my jokes, then then we not gonna match. But that's how I feel like the guys I saw in there. I'm like, oh, these guys probably been through 2 divorces, 3 divorces, you
That's a
know.
problem. 3 divorces.
But that's how I perceived it. I'm like, I got one, woman that I dealt with kids' mom. So yeah, that's how I looked at it. It was just I feel like it was real mature, you know.
Okay,
But
but
it was
that's been
definitely
your
classy.
only long relationship is with your kid's mom.
Yep,
And then
that's my lot.
aside from that, you haven't been in anything that you would consider serious.
No, I wouldn't consider it serious. It almost got serious. But a lot of things like distance, um, yeah, distance, and then two, it's just like, it's just I'm not a serial dater. So it's not like I just don't move on and have another girlfriend in a year. It's like every year I got a new girlfriend. Yo, this your new girlfriend. Now I deal with different women, but I make it clear I don't, lie to nobody. I keep it
I
up
would say
front.
my son is like that. He's the girlfriend guy. Like he's not out here just doing this thing and this thing and
Right.
this thing. When you really hear about it, it's somebody that he
That you
likes
really like.
for
But it's
real.
not right. And it's probably like, but it's not 10 in a year, 5 in a
No,
year.
no, no.
Like, exactly. So it's like
Maybe one or two, to be honest. If
that's
you talking
okay.
about, yeah,
That's
yeah.
okay. 1 and 2 is fine. But I'm just saying, like, I'm the type that really, if I get out of one, I need to self-evaluate myself, and then
I
because
feel the same way. I'm not a relationship hopper. I need to
yeah,
get grounded and get back into,
Right,
what
right,
I even want after that.
right. What I even want, because like, cause you just invested so much here, and you knew that this is what you like, but now obviously whatever happened, you got to readjust.
Hmm.
So when
But
you
you
read,
talk about 11 years of your young life.
right,
Now I feel like you needed that time, you know what I'm saying,
right,
to have a good time and play.
right, exactly, and that's what I was doing. I took advantage of it fully.
Do you want any more kids?
Um, More money, more kids, like one or two, the max, two the max, but one wouldn't be a problem. But
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
you are fairly young, and chances are you're going to meet somebody that probably will want to have
one
more
more,
children. Yeah.
yeah. But I know in 2025, I don't know the way the economics going and people going through struggles, and people don't see having kids as valuable no more. Like they're not thinking about their legacy no more, or passing it down, generational wealth, because most people not even in that space to create wealth for themselves. So a lot of
I
people don't
mean,
think.
you can't stay stuck in that mindset.
No, no,
To
for
me,
sure.
I'm
Yeah,
like, it's a wave.
for sure. Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. You got to,
Yeah.
you're on a different wave.
Yeah.
you on,
So it's
exactly.
just hunker down wave. I live in Florida, so
You
you
know
hunker
what's up.
down, and then when the storm is over, the sun
And
comes back out.
this been happening throughout history. Nothing new under
Yeah.
the sun.
Yeah.
All the scare tactics and spooky stuff is just, keep people from
They're not
moving.
new. It's regurgitated. It's the
Exactly.
same
It's
thing. It's
and
just on
it
the
just,
internet now.
exactly. And it just get people paralysis. People get stuck when you hear so much and you don't know what to do, and they bombard you with so much information to go. You don't know which way to go. You just get stuck. You just stay in the same spot. And,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
it's like fight or flight. When people get scared, gunshots go off. Some people run. Some people get stuck right there. You know.
Well, and it depends. Like you talk about people's upbringing. I've gone to visit a friend in New York, and she's
Right.
like, "Yeah, about 2 o'clock in the morning, that's when the gunshots start happening." And sure enough, that's what you hear. And I'm like, "You have
Gunshot.
desensitized yourself to that. That's become
Right.
your norm."
Right. And in America, we've been desensitized to all the killings. It's normal now. Like it's crazy because I could look at TV and see a killing. Like, oh, all right, let me. Oh, it's another one. Oh, dang, that's crazy. Like, growing up, it was like when you seen a killing, like it almost made you sad because you didn't really hear it that much. It's not your
You didn't hear
family or
it as
nothing.
much. Yeah.
You just
But
felt
like I
sad.
said, the internet wasn't there. It was happening.
Right. But
You
it was,
know, it was
by the time it reached you, you was,
it was over, and you're a kid. So yeah,
right,
you're on to the next thing.
right.
Um, so you get on this show and you show up at this mixer, and who immediately caught your eye?
As soon as I came, the first one had to be Angie. Because she had the bright red lipstick on, the bright red dress. It just, that red is like fiery, so
Right.
it caught my eye the first thing. So, and then she a nice looking woman, so and shaped nicely, so that's caught my eye.
Okay. And then you made your way on to Kira. I feel like most of us that watched the show
Hmm.
thought that you and Kira were the only real connection.
I heard it a lot. I hear
Yeah.
that a lot. A lot of people tell me, even on the show, they felt it like since day one. You know,
Yeah.
that it was like
Yeah.
genuine. Oh, this authentic. This is the type of thing that the world want to see. Love, true, authentic.
It's true. And I think there's a lot of pressure to, like, the show is called Ready to Love. It's not like you're not going to get married, necessarily. It's like I'm ready to see and explore if this person is somebody I want to, move forward with.
Right.
So, um, when you met her, though, you had a specific thought process, and were very vocal about it. Um, you said you have to do extra to get her. Y'all were talking about, she said she's tired of situationships. It
Hmm.
seems like y'all were like on the same wave. Y'all both have two children. She's got her thing going, and so it didn't seem like there was these weird, distractions that other people had. But you said she was bougie,
Yeah, she
and
came. Yeah, go
and
ahead.
you said, you got to do a little extra to get her attention. What did you mean by that?
Um, just I some people love when you dangle stuff in front of their face, and it captured their attention, So it's like I feel like she just gave that the how it look on the outside is what captures her attention, you know.
Well, she said she's a princess. She was very clear and upfront about that. And so,
Exactly. But
you
I
know,
said that, so on the outside, that's what, captures her attention. And um, but I know that's what I told her. And as we went on, I led with myself. I didn't lead with doing extra.
yeah,
And
yeah.
you know what I mean? I mean extra as in, like I said, she wanted to see more, you know. She'll tell you the soft girl life, the soft girl era, stuff like that. Like, so I know that some women that have that mindset, you know, they expectations is a little higher than a woman who don't necessarily see the soft girl era, that type of thing. And mind you, my mom was a tomboy. So with my mom being a tomboy, she never really the soft girl thing, but at the same time, she had her own money. She could do her own thing. But my father, he was the type that he pulled his card out anytime. And as I told her that, I'm a type that 100%. Because if I got it going on and I'm doing my thing, I'm bringing you in my life as my princess. I'm not expecting you to do what I already can take care of. And that's what I saw. But my mom wasn't a princess. She was a tomboy. So she'll still get out there and guard and not say, I'm not getting my hair dirty. Like, it's low levels. Like, okay, you could be bougie and all that. But when you start things like nature, when you don't want to be in nature because you don't want to get you too pretty for that, then like to me it start coming artificial. It's not
Or
is
just different. Now, you know what I'm saying? I feel like people like different things.
yeah, but I'm not but I always look at you could like different things for sure, but when it comes to like just I just like I like a person who's not scared to grow. You can not like something, but you can try it. If you stuck on one way of thinking, we're not compatible, and that's okay with me.
Yeah, yeah.
I just love people who like to try do new things, who have different, mindsets and can go here, explore something, and then wow, I never knew nothing different. Not, oh, I don't care about that because that's not my thing. Like if that's it's okay, you can do that somewhere else. But that's not my definition of bougie as a mindset. You just like luxury. You like the better things in life. I like that. That's no problem with that. But that don't mean somebody stop learning things. That don't mean you ain't got to be snobby with learning new about life. It's not what just one way of thinking. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that was just
So
my
you're like,
thing.
it's fine if you like nice things, but if I ask you to go camping, maybe,
Try it out.
yeah,
Because what if one day we gotta be the world, the final system fall, just anything. I'm gonna be your guidance. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just be a guy. I just gotta know that you willing to be my Clyde. You know what I mean? My Bonnie to my Clyde. I just gotta know that you willing to not just be so because that's not gonna work. You can't be too rigid. You gotta be flexible with me, baby. I'm flexible. Because if you're not going, you tell me I could be like, oh, I don't like getting pedicures and manicures. Because I just think that's kind of like that's all I do it at home. You could do it for me. No, I'm gonna go try it. You know what I mean? Because my baby says she like my nails a certain way. She like it. She like it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go try it out. I ain't gonna be too rigid in my mindset because I'm trying to grow with you. I'm talking longevity.
right,
As sometimes most men lose their hair or women will go crazy because they didn't try to fit this mold of somebody for so long. And you realize, damn, I ain't never get to express myself. Like I was just trying to fit who you wanted me to be. And I could never be that person that just fit what somebody just want me to be. It's like, no, you like me for what you met me for. I like you. We got to compromise for certain things. And you don't have to, but I'm just saying if you want to progress, there's certain things you might not like. I might be grumpy. You might not like that. You might, my woman might complain all the time. Okay, cool, that's no problem. But what comes on the flip side is you complaining all the time and I'm taking your fits. But as a man, when I need you, certain things I need you to do, I just need you to do that too. And we gonna have a happy life. But it can't be just my way, my way, my way, my way. Oh no, no, no. It's not gonna happen.
well, I
It's
feel
not.
like when you're single, you're my way. And when you enter in a relationship, then you
Right,
have to definitely compromise. Now, are you attracted to that? Because, she's obviously beautiful.
right,
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
it seemed like, what did you say? You said you have it in you. She wants to be courted a certain type of way, and you have it in you, to do that.
No, well, yeah, for sure, I could quarter, but like I said, it's certain things that I pick up on. I pay attention to detail. So if you say something to me in the midst of our relationship or us getting to know each other, I'm gonna take that into and play. I'm not going to just dismiss it. So when you tell me to buy you a new car, and I tell you I know a friend who sell cars, but it's a used car, and you say no, I said a new car, that marks on my brain. Either you think I'm a sucker, you think I'm just this guy that's out. No, but that's not how I knew you from on the show. So I'm like, what kind of weird shit is this? Like, why are you asking? And why you give me that attitude when I tell you I know a friend, like, why? And I mean, she admitted to it, but I know from what I do know of her, I'm like, we didn't connected on so many levels already that that's like I just offered the solution. Your car
Where are
not
you
working.
at though in a relationship that you're offering to buy somebody a car?
Offering the that she admitted. I mean, I don't know if they showed it on the reunion, but she said on the reunion, I brought up the nephew time. I said she want me to buy her a new car. I don't know, but when she asked me that in the midst of us getting to know each other, it kind of was the first thing that started pushing me. This is
That
kind of
part they didn't say. So she wanted you to buy her a new car?
yeah,
Huh. This
you know.
early on in the relationship?
Yeah, her car broke down and she called me and she was stressed out because she had to walk and all this. And I understand, like, yeah. So she like, call me. You want to call your man for? I got the answers for everything. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend who sell used cars.
Mm-hmm.
No, I want a new car. So I thought to myself, it made me do some internal digging. It's like I know she don't think I'm a sucker because I know we done dug deep plenty of times. I don't give off that. So why are you telling me to buy you a new car? And
How
then you get
far into the.
this is after the kind of after it went off, like towards the end when we wrapping up.
So how long is it? Is it
It was from
a
June to
month?
like June, July, August, September, October. I think it was like 5 months. 5 months.
5 months that
Yeah.
y'all were. That doesn't last 5 months. The show doesn't last 5 months. You said you guys were in your
Recording.
relationship for 5 months.
No,
Your court.
pre-recording. I met her on the show. So how long we was pre-recording? June, July, August, September. And then probably I think it ended. And then we still had to do the reunion, which led into like November. And so yeah, it was about 5 months. That was of them having us. We was around each other for that amount of time. But as you've seen since episode one, we kind of clicked early. So
Right.
when you say in a relationship, that only can give you when we chose each other on the show. But we didn't ever make it official when we chose each other on the show because she asked me, "What are we?" So it was kind of like not official, but it was official. It was official because we chose each other. But as I told her after the show, let's get to kind of really dive in without the show's influence and see who we are.
Right. Hmm. So the show started in June,
Mm-hmm.
and you did the reunion in November.
Mm-hmm.
That was last year, obviously,
Correct.
because we had this whole break, and it's thrown everybody off as to how long all this has really been going on. I feel
Yeah.
like that's a lot. I feel
Right.
like that kind of puts things into perspective because I'm like, go to dinner. That's what ended it. So, but we're
Right.
gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Um, we saw you go on a date with Coley, and that seemed like it went well. What happened with that?
That was cool. Coley was super fun girl. I got to know her. I had a perception of her that I was, wrong about, and it was a good date. As I told her, I thought she was like some spoiled daddy's girl. It just gave me that, just judging a book by its cover, what humans do. But I was wrong, and she was a cool person, real, fun, you know.
Now, what's the difference between a spoiled daddy's girl and a princess?
Um, um, cause I feel, cause I just feel like one of them is a little, it has more of a stigma. Like the daddy's
You were
girl
getting,
is the
she was giving you Hillary Banks.
yeah, kind of airheadish, and that's how my perception was. Like, yeah, you got it right on the nail, Hillary. That's how I thought. It's like, oh, you really, like you, nah, you like, I don't know. That's just I don't want to say too much. 'Cause I really like Coley, and I don't know how to say the right words.
Well, I think a
But,
lot of people were saying it was surface and kind of, and I think sometimes that just happens with people that don't necessarily connect on the same level, where you're
right,
not going any deeper. You know what I
right,
mean?
right,
Um, and also chemistry is a big deal. Like you and
right,
Kiera obviously had a chemistry. so you liked her, you gonna like put a little more energy in, I feel like, than you would with somebody who you didn't necessarily have the same chemistry with.
Right.
Were you open to other, you know,
Yeah,
ladies?
I was open to other. I just don't think I had the opportunity as much. Angie was one, as I told Kier. Angie was one. But it wasn't a lot of that shown um on TV. She actually was at my date, but it didn't make TV. At Meet the Friends, she was actually sitting next to Kier, but it didn't.
So who all did you go on dates with?
Um, Angie Coley, and I think that was about it. Yeah, Angie Coley, and that was it. Because once they seen how me and Kiera was just, I don't think she was choosing anybody else to go on dates with, and
Yeah.
I kind of wasn't either. Besides Angie,
I feel like production must have liked y'all as a couple too, because other people will tell you they did not get to go on the dates with the people that they wanted to go on dates with.
yeah,
So you guys managed to, get connected where other people, that can hurt you, I feel like, in this show. And I don't know why. A lot of times people come over here, they connect, and then they get kicked off because they're not connecting with other people, which doesn't make sense to me. I feel like, why am I doing that if, I feel like I would be fine watching the connection grow and keep seeing the people go on dates with each other if that's what,
right,
what they
right,
like.
right, right. It definitely was genuine though.
True said you were a player. Is that an accurate assessment?
True was false.
True was false. Is that what you said?
Exactly. Shout out to Naeem.
Naeem is funny.
Yeah,
Naeem is hilarious.
shout out to Naeem. Right.
Um, why do you think she said that? See, this is the thing. She said that you said you were in an 11-year relationship, and she said, "Do you have commitment issues?" And I feel like 11 years is a commitment. So
I feel like you and every other person that came to me like, what is she talking about? Is it 11 years commitment? Like, I think she was just looking for a way to discredit me, because she didn't like the word player. Some words is trigger words. I think a few players then left her where she stands. So I think it might have
just
triggered her when
projecting.
it triggered her. She said player. She didn't hear nothing else after that. She didn't hear 11 years. She just heard player.
Well, I feel like what some people how they assess it is you were there 11 years and you didn't want to marry, because that's
We
supposed to be the goal, to get married.
we was
I feel
actually
like you were young, so to me it makes sense.
right. And we actually was about to get married when we met when I was 20. We was going down to the court hall to get the papers and everything. We wasn't gonna do the big wedding. It's like we was so in love and clicked to each other, and we was gonna go down Center City and just sign the papers. But I'm the one who was like, oh, hold up, you know, parents like, hold up, you just got out of school. What's going on? And she had a daughter at that time, and I'm 19, and she already had a 2-year-old at that time. So
Okay.
my mom being protective, mom like, hold up, not yet, not. You just got out of school. You got to live your life, and I was playing the family man. So you know, yeah,
Honestly, I feel like, and it's probably an unpopular opinion, I feel like young love is probably the most genuine love you ever have,
true,
because it's
true
not
indeed.
jaded by any of the things that you go through in life. And then when you find another love, is based on a little bit of what you've been through in the past
Yeah,
and a lot more work, because
yeah,
you're fighting against that, falling and getting hurt and all of that. So to me, it makes sense. I think, of course, as a mom, she's like, hold on. So that was 3 kids. She had a child already, and then you guys had 2.
yeah, yeah.
And you were out here, young man, taking care of family. Even like outside of your friends said they were out there trying to tell you, don't do it.
I had my father. You could have a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You up here, definitely. I'm early 19. You got, but I'm up here, playing family man. Because in high school, I was kind of the man. I played basketball. I had a lot of women. I was having my fun, but it was boring. It was like, dang, I want a woman that I really like being around and want to be around, and not just because I want to have sex. I'm young, so it's like that got to that point when I was 19. That was early. My family called me man because they said I had an old soul. So it was like
Mm-hmm.
I seen through a lot of things as at a young age that didn't excite me as much, because I grew up around a lot of older people. So it was like, that old type of soul and that old wisdom you watching. I ain't watching cartoons. I'm up here watching what they watch. I get older. I'm like, dang, I used to watch y'all movies and stuff. I ain't, watch cartoons like I was supposed to. But I watch some. I can watch some, but I'm just saying I watch more adult type of things because I was around a lot of older people.
Okay.
So it gave my experience and my
So
perception
you
came
had
out.
a blueprint of what you thought it was supposed to look like.
Right. I wanted the family. I gotta do this, take care of that. That was always my perception. You know what I mean? I never thought like, oh, I'm just be out here messing with different women and all that. I seen the structure. And then after I did 11 years, it's like, oh, I know I remember my kid's mom telling me a lot that she felt like she was holding me back because I always been charismatic. I always had, my lane that brought me the attention that I received. You know what I mean? So she used to kind of like didn't like it because I could get in a room and people gravitate to me and I could be over here talking and a network, and she wanted me to just be this closed in person. So to make her feel better, I wouldn't ask much, flirt as well, not flirt but network, you know what I mean, just do things in areas that she would consider flirting, but it wasn't. But that was just being young. I get
Yeah,
that
yeah.
too. She was being young. She was, you know what I mean. So, but at the same time, it was just like you can't you be 24 like I'm young, I'm 27, I'm young, I'm 30. Yeah, how long you ain't young no more. You gotta make shit happen, or you gotta grow from where you at, even if the other person don't see it at that time. You know what I mean? Because the kid's not gonna look and say, oh daddy, what happened? You was arguing and mommy couldn't figure it out. No, the life gotta still be provided for them. So that's why I think I said on the first episode to Kiera, I was like, no, I'm gonna sit around and argue. No, I gotta get some money. And I got some backlash for that. Like, oh, he chose money over. No, I didn't choose money, but how am I else supposed to provide and go forward and sit around? So I sit around and argue and bicker and try to figure out something that's going nowhere. I'm talking about as in comprehending what the problem is. We just go on this cycle of trying to debate, go back and forth. Like, no, I'm gonna just separate, but I communicated that effectively that I'm gonna get right so that you could come back and understand that this is what I built, because that's what it was all about. It's just building. I mean, I just try to make sure my kids have a better future. You know,
Well, I think like you haven't figured out who you are yet. Um,
you said I haven't.
no, then like at
Oh
that
yeah,
young
right,
age, like you
right,
need that time to figure out who you are, and
exactly,
she needs to figure out who she was. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Both of y'all being young. So
Hmm.
in the 5 years after your relationship, do you like being in a relationship more, or do you like,
I think I like being in a relationship more, but I feel like it has to be the partnership that's real. Like, I feel like everybody, you have to find that match, that person that's perfect, but they do things that it's not like, I don't want to say tolerate, but it's just enough that make you want to be around them every day. And it's like some women, I feel like as women probably feel about some men, it just be temporary. Sometimes it be temporary. You dealing with somebody, you like them, y'all cool, but then they do something you don't like. I do something they don't like. It might not be the same energy the next time y'all see each other. Might not be the same energy when they leave, because that's when you start realizing how much you like the person. Because in the beginning, when you meet somebody and y'all really like each other and the chemistry, most time your longest relationships, it was like y'all overlook some things in the beginning because you was just so in awe about the person. So you
well,
overlook.
that's when the work kicks in. After them
Right.
all goes away, that's when the work kicks in. That's
Right.
for 20s, 30s, 40s, and on. Like if you
Right.
go combine two people, once y'all get past the infatuation, you have to then see like what is it gonna be, what is the relationship gonna look like, and are you willing to work? I feel like you got to wake up and want to still do it.
Exactly.
People can be married for years and then decide they don't want to do it no more.
Right. And then you got to be honest with yourself. What's on the other side of that coin? If you don't put effort and work on it, you go to somebody else, y'all go through that same honeymoon phase, and then y'all go to the effort phase. So when you
Then
get
you
back to
go,
that effort phase, what you gonna do?
yeah,
What you gonna
yeah.
decide at that point? Like, okay, is this a better person you decided to put effort in for? Because you still gonna have to do the same thing that you didn't do with the last person. You know what I mean? So you got to decide now. Is this a better person? That's what I mean. So that's what I don't like, superficial type of energy when it comes to relationship, because I'm a real authentic person. I just speak my mind. I just be sitting around you and probably open up just me. I just talk to the person I care for. Like I won't give it to the world, but I do it for the person I care about. So if I get any inclination that is no authentic, like I said, anything that it don't have to be like I said, you could be love nice things and all things like that. That don't have nothing to do with it. Authentic. I just love authentic people. You know what I mean? And you just got to be authentic. And I'm not saying that what I went through on the show wasn't authentic, but I just feel like after the show, it could give you a different type of battery in your back that you want to for the
Well, the real
fans.
work doesn't start until after the show.
But that's my
So
point.
you
That's
can't
my point.
know, what it's gonna be until after that.
That's my
So
point.
let's get into the show. Somebody asked what is about Sahara. So I have a couple questions about Sahara.
Okay.
So at the first mixer, you
Uh-huh.
voted her at your bottom, and you said she's a cool friend, but there's no intimate connection.
Right.
Then when she came back, you said she came back to cause trouble. Why you say that?
I said she came because I knew she was mad. I was there when she said F all y'all. She turned around and said F you or F you, and she got mad or however she went off. So I knew she was coming back to be, you know, on one. But me and Sahara, like, we cool. We super good friends right now. So and then the first time, yeah, how we are, I said it. We super good friends. Me and her never did anything. So what I said at that first episode is how it is right now. She could call me anytime she going through something. She called me. We never took it nowhere near past friendship. So that's exactly what was the truth. So.
So because she was saying that you were a connection,
Mm-hmm.
and you said, what did you say? You said she's an around the way girl, and then you like around the way girls, and you like the way her energy works. That's what you said over at the block party.
Right.
So do you think what changed? What changed from her being like a troublemaker to energy, that you
But
like?
well, and we in Philly, a troublemaker don't necessarily mean necessarily a bad thing. Troublemaker in a certain environment, you want to get in trouble. I want her to get me in trouble. We things like that. So it's not necessarily always like a criminal get in trouble. No. I mean like, or just she come back and make it messy. No, I mean like Sahara fun time. She is. She
Yeah,
wrote
she got you in trouble, all right too.
exactly.
Um,
And it was a fun time. So
why didn't you tell Kiara that was a possibility?
oh, Kiara know that me and Sahara was close. She's seen it. She's seen it all the time. She's seen it. The connection that me and Sahara had, she saw. It was nothing different, nothing changed. It was the exact connection that we had. So, I don't know what was expected, you know.
You don't know what was expected. Okay, so there was a whole conversation in the sprinter. We're going to go in this house and we're not going to do anything that makes me look crazy. And then you went in the house and went straight for the disrespect. And you and Sahara. Now, Sahara, I knew what she was doing because she did it twice. Over at the block party, she was sitting on the stairs with you and she was giggling all loud. And Cam was, over there wondering what was going on, and mission accomplished. And then she did it again at the getaway because Cam is over here with all these connections and she's like, oh, no, you won't, because I got other things to do too.
Right.
So you went over on that couch. What was your understanding from the conversation in the sprinter where Kiara's like, don't go in here making me look crazy, straight to legs entangled and things?
Sex.
What?
Sex.
Sex.
Yeah.
Say more.
No, that's it. That's I'm thinking sex. You saying what did I comprehend from that? Don't go in there having sex with no woman.
That's it?
That's it. That's all. Because at the end of the day, I'm still on the show. That I have 9 other women. She could change her mind. I'm not sure. I'm not always unsure that I'm her final pick. I know up to this point, I'm probably 85% to 90% sure that I am, but I wasn't. That's the nature of the show, and also we all being incentivized to be here. So, like I said, everything. I'm a human being, so mentally, I don't just go with whatever I'm told or go whatever is being said. Like that's not. I take it in. I filter it. You know what I mean? I understand. How does it make sense to me? And I'm like, okay, we here, we coming here. Am I supposed to close myself off? Because as you just said in the beginning, that it kind of hurts you as well when you with somebody and y'all so locked in because there's other people here. So the minute she chose someone else, I have no leg to stand on. But I wasn't that much invested in that thought process. I was more invested in the fact that like I'm here to still flirt with other women. It's not I'm not
Did
having
you
sex
like
with her.
her,
Here.
Kiara?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. I did. Did I like her on the show? Yes, I did.
Yes. So you liked her.
Yeah.
And see, now I feel like you're playing with me a little bit,
Nah.
just a little
Uh-uh.
bit.
Nah.
So
Not at
if
all.
you like me, right,
Right.
I think up until now, I'm not knowing, I feel like by the time you get to the getaway, there is no bringing any new connections in. That's just how I feel about it. We're at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the road. Whatever you and Sahara was over there doing something else. You know what I'm saying? So just as simple, like y'all weren't on the couch. So if you like me, I feel like at the very least, you're not gonna do something that's gonna hurt my feelings. So you didn't think that her feelings was gonna be hurt by seeing you like intertwined with someone?
No, I think we adding to it when the intertwine. We was rubbing each other. We was rubbing my leg.
It was intertwined. There was the legs thrown over each other.
Mm-mm. I think I didn't see none in it, and that's what I told her. If it was something that she felt was inappropriate, I apologize to her because I didn't see that we on camera. It's like she didn't catch me behind the scenes, off camera, us two in the room rubbing on each other. It was on camera. The we was asked to be on for a scene, and I agreed to be on the scene, and that was that. Once I was on the scene, I was being genuinely myself. So, I heard somebody I'm cool with. She put her hand on my leg, rubbed my knee, I rubbed her neck. I knew I still was on camera, and after that, that was it. Me and Sahara wasn't. I was never in her room by myself behind the scenes. We wasn't together nowhere by herself behind the scenes. So I just thought
I feel
she
like
did.
you and Sahara knew what was going on, but just from a woman's perspective, I feel like my feelings would have been hurt. I know for myself, single Rhonda talk a lot of smack. But in a
Yeah.
relationship, Rhonda conducts herself differently because I know if I'm out here talking all this smack that I normally do, it's going to lead to feelings getting hurt.
Right,
Even
but
if
that's
I'm
I
supposed to
agree.
be,
I understand. No, I understand that. I understand that. But at the same time, you coming in a competitive arena, and you're just saying because of episode 8 that we should have had it figured out, but it wasn't. It was people still, trying to figure it out. And at the same time, like I said, I'm not a jealous person or insecure person, so I seen, certain things in scenes. I'm like, okay. I mean, not in scenes that I seen. People still was certain people still want to care in a way, and I'm not opposed to it. I know that me and her, we've had what she had, but who knows if, you know, she woke up and anything. I just know that I don't see nothing that's permanent or locked in. I just know that
so
I'm here.
if you were walking by and
Uh-huh.
Kiara had her leg thrown over, say, Khalil, and he
Yep.
was massaging her shoulder,
Yep.
and this is supposed to be your connection,
Yep.
you wouldn't feel no type of way?
Mm-mm. Not in this stage of the process. If this was something where we were together and X, Y, and Z, yeah. But not
It
in this
wouldn't even
stage.
make you question like whether she was,
I would think
trying to.
she may have a connection with him. I would think that, but I understood we on the show. So I would think, oh, she must have a connection with him. And then I might ask her, I ain't know you got a connection with him. Same way she asked me. So I'd have went about it the same way she asked me about it. So I don't think she's wrong for feeling how she felt. And I told her that. I don't feel she's wrong. I don't feel like she shouldn't have felt the way she felt. I
Okay.
didn't, what I mean? I wasn't invalidating her feelings as I told her. I understand what you see, but my perspective, I didn't see it that way because where we at, she cool. I'm on camera. I'm not trying to sneak and do it. I feel like a lot of times people sneaking and doing something I'm not supposed to do, but I'm doing something that's right here is on camera. I won't say it's for the camera, but in a sense, it kind of is. We on camera, and she rubbing me. I'm just rubbing her back, reciprocating the energy. We having fun, and that was that. I didn't. Oh, okay. How it make you look? Okay, okay. And I just took it on the chin, but it wasn't no me trying to defend. that I really genuinely didn't see it that way until she had to enlighten me on how she felt and how she think it made her look. And even with the conversation we had, like I said, I thought it was just sex. She made that joke in the back of the bus, but it was like like, don't play with me. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I got you. But I'm thinking like, yeah, you ain't gonna catch me in no room with no sneaking around with no woman. It could have got messy. We all in the house together. This is the first time we all together in the house. So any woman that wanted to be competitive and wanted Jay behind my back, we could have snuck off and did something. I could have been in any room and did that with a woman that felt as though that F care, we could go do this. But she was up under me. She knew where I was at 24/7. So it's like once that scene happened, it was like this one scene because it on TV. That's my perspective. Like I said, so seeing it from the other side, it was like, okay, I can see it, and I
I
just
think that's a Pisces thing. I'm glad you said that. You're a Pisces. Let me know that you're a Pisces because, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I feel like in the male and the female of each zodiac sign is so very different.
Right.
Because you said you didn't see it from her perspective.
Right.
And it just made me think of this time. So my son was living at home and he was doing laundry.
Mm-hmm.
And Sunday is my laundry day. It's neither here nor there. But I told my daughter, I said, go ahead and put that load of clothes in the laundry. And he came back and he was like, are y'all washing clothes? My clothes were in there. And I was like, okay, well, yeah, I guess she just didn't notice. So when the washing machine stopped, instead of him putting the clothes in the dryer, he went through and picked his clothes out of the washing machine and put only his clothes in the dryer. Why you look like that?
Because
that sound crazy?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. It sounds crazy to me to say that you like me and then I walk up and you're crunched up with this girl. Yeah, and then I didn't see it from your perspective.
Yeah, he didn't. He didn't see it from your perspective. Sometimes it's tunnel vision. It's
he's thinking of only his shit. I'm only thinking of me in this moment.
Yeah, in this moment, for sure.
So then, if that's the case, when she called Sahara over, why did you just adamantly deny? No, there's nothing there. She's never been my connection. Now, all of a sudden, are you concerned about her feelings? You know I was going to get on you about this.
No, but that already, what you mean? I said on TV that is what it was. I didn't say anything different on TV. I said we didn't have that type of connection that me and Kiera had. I said that on TV. I don't know what else? That's it. I never said anything. I didn't say, I never even expressed that me and her had a thing. We still don't to this day. So, it's just, I don't know how else to, that's it.
I guess if there's no connection necessarily, then there was really no reason because
to rub on each other.
You said you were exploring the connection. Now you're saying there's not a connection.
But you saying exploring the connection because we was rubbing on each other.
Yeah.
That's not exploring the connection. I feel like that's just over. I feel like y'all you using that as that's not the catalyst to saying it's a connection. Somebody rub on each other. People dance on each other at a party. That don't necessarily mean they connected. And you know what I mean? It's like they got to connect. It's as a temporary connection, but we just rubbing on each other. Like not rubbing my stuff and.
Somebody was getting their thighs massaged. It looked very intimate. That's all I'm saying. It just looked like you were close. Uh-oh, did you freeze? Where did you go? We running away when we starting to talk about the connection? Come back. I don't know where he went. We're live and Jay froze on me. But what he's saying is that him and Sahara did not necessarily have a connection. I'm trying to figure out, though, how you can be so close. You know what I'm saying? To me, touching, massaging, and all of that stuff, I'm not necessarily letting just anybody do that. You know what I'm saying? And if it's a friend, that's fine. But if I'm trying to connect with somebody else, then I'm probably not going to do that. Let's see. There you go. You're back?
I'm back. My other phone died.
There you go. So, yeah, I just feel like, because, you in your single man trying to? I don't know what you're trying to do. Are you
Right
looking for?
now,
You said you like being in a relationship.
yeah, I do. Right now, I just focus on finances and staying in the gym and being a better person, self development type stuff. But I don't oppose to a woman coming into my life and sharing it together. I am a relationship person. So, but my other side too, I don't have no in between. I only have me really being invested in somebody, or I'm out here living the life that I
Doing
feel
your
is
thing.
that's focused on me. Like you said with your son, I just put my own stuff in the dryer. If I focus on that type of life. So, that's either that or I'm really involved with somebody. But when I'm involved with somebody, I feel like I'm involved. So, 2025, I don't feel like you get that. Like you said, you admitted that a young love is kind of like where you could get that feeling of like that new hit of love. It's like kind of like a
Hmm.
drug. It's that fresh
Hmm.
hit, So it's like you can't, you can never repeat that again. But at the same time, it's like I know it ain't no lost hope. I know it's women out here with qualities because same way, my past had bad qualities, they had good qualities. You just try to, not compare to another woman or another man, but you just try to, understand what you do like and what you don't like, as you said, So once I figure like, oh, I do like a woman that's up under my skin and that's catering, I got to
You
find
should
out,
probably make note. Just put
huh?
it in your mental background somewhere. If you
What?
got your one connection, your one that you're feeling, just don't
Yeah.
be physically feeling on anything else while they're both in the same space. That's not going to ever end well for you.
Yeah, I got back though that night. I got back the next night. I made it back. I made it back. It was a long way back, but I made it back.
Well,
I went
that's
from
a
the.
good thing, but I
I
feel
went.
like you needed to learn that lesson.
Yeah, I
Um,
went. Sure. Telling the truth.
Everybody loved your family, especially your aunt.
Yeah, hilarious.
You said your parents have been married for 25 years. Who is your go-to when you're looking for relationship advice?
Father.
Your dad?
Yeah.
Why is that?
They come with the comedic value, the seriousness, and you got to do it your way if you want to be happy. My mom, she a mother, so hers come with all these extra variables, and it's masked by protection. So sometimes it's limited, because mom just want to see to protect you. But
Protecting you?
yeah, just her child, what she birthed,
Okay.
And most mothers do that to the grave, no matter how old I am, they just want to protect you. And I'm saying coming from like just any all levels, mothers just being mothers. I got something going on. I'm a grown man. I can handle it. But you need me to call him? Mom, why would I need you to call him? Like, Mom, what's going on? Why you need?
Oh,
I
she
got
want to
this.
go in.
Yeah, like So that's just mothers. But fathers is, it's like, you got to get it done. Because if you
Now,
want
what did
that,
they say when they seen you on the couch with Sahara?
um, honestly, they ain't say much. They ain't say much. Well, mom, she didn't see me. She just ready for me to settle down, but she didn't say much. She know she like that's him. She know that's me. She know that's
So
me.
she let you slide.
Yeah, she let me
What's your
slide.
mom's sign?
Sagittarius.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. They usually out very much outspoken.
Exactly. She is very much super, super outspoken. But I think she just, I'm her son. I'm her only child, so she kind of seen it as like I know she seen my 11-year relationship, so she know I'm out here and I'm trying to figure it out. So I don't think she took it as like most people looking on the other end as fans of the show. It's like, oh, why he doing that? She looking like she knows me. The same way as you go on the show and do something that people wouldn't understand, but if people that know you, that's what she do. You know what I mean? But it's and that might not be right in somebody else's eyes, but people that know you understand how you move and know that's genuinely you. It's not something you made up or something. Like I told her, I didn't know. Once I figured out, we could change that going forward. You're not gonna catch me, on camera
I
flirting.
would call my son out. Absolutely. I
Yeah,
would. He actually was in a relationship with someone and they broke up.
Mm-hmm.
So they were in it and still living in the same apartment together.
Mm-hmm.
And he had somebody pick him up at the house.
Right.
Somewhat probably like how you're feeling. What? We're not together anymore, and just didn't understand like why that was a terrible idea. So
Nah.
yeah, I call him out. And
It's
usually he doesn't, he doesn't, it doesn't resonate till maybe a year later.
right, right. He gotta go through it himself. He understands. He hear you. He hears you for sure. You know.
But he's focused on himself.
I can understand it. I can understand it. I mean, in a sense, as you said, everybody manipulate. I feel like everybody focused on themselves.
See, I just don't like the connotation that's associated with manipulation now that everybody is focused on their self. If I'm manipulating in a way to, you know, obviously it's self-serving, but as long as like everybody's benefiting, I'm like it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, if I gotta, be flirty to get the grass cut, at the end you're gonna get things anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's happy.
Mm-hmm. Right. And like you said, once there's no acknowledgement, that's when people feel a type of way. When nobody acknowledging what I'm doing.
Well,
Like
and also like when you're talking about being in a relationship with somebody, I feel like how you move has to change. If I'm doing something, if I'm somewhere not with my partner, I'm not going to do something that he would feel uncomfortable with.
that's
You know
true.
what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's true. And that's learning each other. That's learning each other. The more you learn each other, the more you know. And like you said, the effort starts, after the honeymoon phase. So, you learn each other and you realize, oh, you don't like this? Okay. I feel like I can compromise or I can't and I'm a step left. Vice versa. Oh, I can compromise. Oh, I need a man that court me every week. You can't do it, go left. It's a man out here that will do that for you.
And
You know?
apparently so. So you ended up at the reunion and she has moved on.
So they say.
I mean, that's what she said.
Yeah. So
Um,
what she said, yep.
you needed a whole month off of dating though.
No, we were still I said a month off of keeping up with the show persona. It was not we were still hanging out. We were still it was probably 2 weeks in when she started a week and a half when she started complaining about it. So um yeah.
You said
I,
keeping up with the show persona. What does that mean?
with the whole court and we was going out every week with the show. So I didn't want to
So you
continue.
were the only ones going out every week.
I'm not sure with everybody else. I thought they were going out. I thought everybody had a date every
But
week.
it was just you guys going out like dating each other. Everybody
Yeah.
else was doing multiple things, different people.
Yeah, different people, right? It was just me and her. So spending a lot of time with her, I liked it. That I like that. I like spending time with her. It was just like I said, I have kids. You have kids. Like it's
Real
just
life is
time.
different.
We got to get back to that. We have,
Yeah.
and I want you to still be in my life. I still want you to. She was still coming to my house and seeing you, but I'm like, let's give it a month. My finance, let me make sure everything intact. I took off work for all this. You know what I
So you got
mean?
to get your money back
I
right.
got to get
And
everything right. Why would
yeah.
I'm not gonna go trying to live up to what you think I gotta be because of the show. I feel like you just trying to not her just intentionally trying to do it. Just what is a lot on her head. She got 2 kids. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But I feel like I was looking out for both of us. Like we just going off the high of the show and how good we feel about each other. And I understand. I'm with you. But like, all right, let's for a second. I'm gonna get right. You got to get right. You saying your kid's father coming home soon. All these things you get right. But at the same time, we still talking. I'm talking to you every morning. You coming to see me. I'm seeing you. But as far as us, the show persona of, oh, this week where we going? What restaurant we going to? Next week, what restaurant we going to? Like I didn't.
So what do you think is like an accurate amount of dating within a relationship? Because I feel like that happens in a lot of relationships. You could do all the courting and the things, and then when you get settled in, then nobody's going anywhere. And we still
Uh,
want to dress up and go look
right.
nice and all of that stuff. So what? do you think is an accurate amount of date nights within a month span?
I honestly feel like if you with a woman and y'all together and she supports you in whatever lifestyle you live and y'all mesh, it's sporadic. You want to go tonight? You tell me, babe, look, this place where I want to go right here. I want to try this, and it's like, all right, I don't gotta get up too early tomorrow to handle this. Well, okay, we could go. You know, the next night, baby, I know we went last night, but let's try this place. You know, let's go. It's not, but to make it a thing for how it has to look on the outside for us.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about how it look on the outside. I know we just came off a show. We got to go to restaurants, take everybody so they can see us, and that's just not me. You know what I mean? I just want to I want to do the real first, and
So
then
you
we could
wanted to get away from the show and get into real life.
real real life, and then we could have did what we did best, and not what the show gave us. Because I didn't see nothing wrong with it. You know, I honestly didn't see nothing wrong with it, but obviously it was an issue. You know, but I just like I said, I had real life to get back to. I had kids that I didn't see all that time. You know, my parents was helping with the kids. They didn't have time to go on vacations. This was on the summertime. They not their kids. You know, so they had to
Right,
go and live now. They can live their life when I get off the show. Like, yeah, take your kids back. Like, like
right.
so. You know, and now I gotta factor her in because she wanted to go here and then here, but we could go to the park over here just for the day. Now, not my hair. Not saying that she's saying that. I'm just saying because how she carry herself. I knew that in my head that's not where she would be typed to go. You know, and that's not somewhere she want to go. So yeah, I
Well, I
didn't.
do think it's really important to understand like all those things. That's what dating is for you to see and explore each other and, find your comfort zone, what you like, what the other person likes. And it
Right,
is work.
right,
And and when you have real life work and children, it's more work to figure
right,
that
right.
out. Overall, I feel like, how was the experience for you?
Oh, it was a great experience. Like I said, I liked it. I seen all the bad, and I told another lady uh, on another podcast or interview, if
Hmm.
you see the bad, you see the good, but you don't get high or low about it. You just take for what it is, and you enjoy the process, and you learn more. And that's just how I took it. I see the funny jokes, and I see my DMs with different women saying how much they love my personality. I'm a dope person, and more that they want to get to know me. So you see the good and the bad. So it was just a good experience, you know.
So now you said you got women in your DMs, and your last words on the reunion was, "I know you. Do you know how many bitches I got?"
It's so crazy. I didn't know. I heard that. I got called immediately. I didn't know I said that. I think it was the tequila talking.
That's
It
what you
was
said.
not, but they had to bleep it out. I know they ain't say that.
You said, "Do you know what that? What that? Do you know how many bitches I got?"
I ain't
That's
say
what you
B. They ain't
said.
let B on the Oprah network. I ain't say bitches on the Oprah network.
Well, then go watch it because I'm telling you what you
I
said.
said so. They said they allow bitches on the Oprah network,
Do you know they even gave you little what do you call it? Subtitles.
and they said bitches in the subtitle. That's
That's what
crazy.
it say. Go watch it. That's what you said. Let's
That's
change that
crazy.
narrative. We don't want that to be your last words.
That's
That don't even
crazy.
sound right.
I didn't even know. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I'm surprised I even said it or they even put that on there. Me saying, how many bitches I got. Like,
That's
definitely
that's
wasn't for TV.
that's that's what you said.
But I mean, listen, people come here and they complain how the production edited and they didn't say certain things, but I don't. It is what it is. If that's what was said, I don't remember saying it, but if that's what I said, you saying I said, and they said I said, then that's what I said. You know,
Run that beautiful bean footage.
you know, it is what it is. You know.
um, are you open to living other places, or you just Philly is where it's at for you?
Oh no, I lived in North Carolina. I lived in Virginia. I lived in Minnesota for a couple months. So I lived in 3 different states already.
Okay. Would you do another reality show?
Um, would I do another reality show? I kinda. I don't know. I don't know. I can't say I wouldn't because there's a show right now that I'm currently um applying for. So I
Okay.
can't.
So then you would be open to it.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm of the mindset if I get picked, I do. If I don't, it's not like I'm like, oh, I got to get this. I got to piggyback off this last show. I want to do reality. I'd rather do movies and commercials.
Well, you
Um,
didn't get a bad edit. So, like you
no, I
said, the things that came out of your mouth came out of your mouth. You didn't get a
yeah,
bad edit
yeah,
out of, all the people. Because sometimes they do say that.
yeah.
Do
They,
you
they
have
say that.
anything going on that you want to share before we get out of here?
Nah. There's nothing I want to share. And yeah, that's it. That's it all.
That's
That's
it.
it. Yep, yep,
Well, I
yep.
got one last question before we go.
Mm-hmm.
Drake or Kendrick Lamar?
Kendrick Lamar.
Oh my God, thank God. I was gonna have no hope for Philly whatsoever. All your cohorts, they want to be Drake. They don't want to be Drake, but they're Drakes, not
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar.
No. Drake, cool. He the popular one with no substance.
No substance.
Yeah, Drake, Kendrick Lamar is the one with substance, but it's not as popular because it come off not for everybody ears. I feel like that represent me, so that's why I don't really care too much.
Well, I'm gonna leave it at that. Jay,
I
thank you for coming over here to my channel.
appreciate you.
You see the comments is over here.
No, I didn't read it. I can't even see them.
They're scrolling by, so I think you could go back and check afterwards. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
it
seen
was nice
somebody
to meet
say.
you.
All I can see is somebody say, "We seen you say it, bro," something like that.
Yeah, because you said it. Oh, and he's out of here. Well, y'all, thank you for coming over here. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 7 o'clock. We're gonna discuss this reunion. In the meantime, like the video, subscribe to my channel. He's back.
Yeah, I
I
don't
was just
know.
ending the video. You want to tell the people goodbye?
Oh yeah. Appreciate everybody that supported me. Even if you didn't understand me, if I didn't give you no clarification, you can follow me on Instagram and maybe I'll give you something to see my personality. But outside of that, I appreciate everybody watching, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. And hopefully you see me more. And if I said something you didn't like, forgive me. And that's what it is, I'm Jay, and that's what it is. And I appreciate, you know, Rhonda for bringing me on.
All right, y'all. Well, we'll see you when we
All
see
right.
you.
All
Bye,
right.
y'all.
Bye bye.